Today's daf is Masechtas Sota Daf Yud Gimel. So Zok the Gemara, the Mishnah said that Yosef, he was zeicha to bury his father, and it says Ein ba'achiv gadol mimenu. There's no one greater than his brothers. Out of all his brothers, he was the greatest. It says in the pasuk, Bereshis Nun, Vayal Yosef likberes of Vayal Yimagav Rechem Gam Parashim. He had a whole entourage burying his father. So Zok the Gemara, we are approximately 7 lines from the top, a second wide line, the first half of the line. Zok the Gemara Maishna. So Zok the Gemara Maishna Meikara. How come in the beginning when it says when he went to bury his father Yaakov, it says in Shmois Parak No Vayal Yosef Likberes Aviv, and it says Yosef went to bury his father, and then it says Vayal Itoy Kol Avdei, then it says all the Avdei went up. V'hader, and later on in Pasuk Ches it says V'chol Beis Yosef Echav, it says Beis Yosef and his brothers Beis Aviv, and then I'm sorry, in Pasuk Nandal on the Maishal B'Soif, the Chesiv, it says later on in Pasuk Nandal, but Yosef Yosef Mitzrayim Hu Ve'echav, says him and his brother, and then and this time it says V'hadar V'chol Ha'olim Yitul Gebers Aviv, and then it mentions Avdei Fire and all other people only after his brother. So Dr. Gemara, Rabbi Yochanan at Chila, in the beginning when he went to bury him, actually before the Avdei Fire, all Yosef's people saw the cover of Yisrael. So Leinago Behen covered. So they weren't no covered in the Ache Yosef, they just went before them. Well, it was so Sharobu Kvoidan, they saw the cover of the Yidden. Once they saw the burial, they saw the matzah in the burial, in the kfur, so Nagam and covered, so they were knowing them covered and let the Achi Yosef go in front of them. Zok Gemara, what is the covered that the Umas did? The Chesiv, it says, Bereshis Parak Nun Pasuk Yud, Vayavoyu ad goyren ha'atad. So Frak the Gemara, those are words that said about you can't tell goyren ha'atad. Zok Gemara, Frak the Gemara, V'chi goyren yesh lo la'atad. Chayr atad is a type of thorn. So is there a garden of thorns? What does it mean they came to Garan Atat? What's this Garan Atat? So Gemara Amar Bavom Malamet Shekifu Kasaram Amrei Shal Yaakov. We learn out that they encircled the Aron of Yaakov with thorns, with Kasaram or crowns. Kagarin Zesham Akifan Lay Atat, like a nice garden that you circle it with thorns. Shabo Bnei Esav Bnei Shmuel Bnei Keturah. Bnei Esav Bnei Shmuel Bnei Keturah came to the Levaya, and they put their crowns on the Aron of Yosef, and that's always called Gerina Atad. Zakti Gemara, Tana, Kulam, the Bnei Esav Bnei Shmuel Bnei Keturah came, Lamachamabo, they came to war. Came Sharo, Kisra Shal Yosef, Talabarin Shal Yaakov. Once they saw the crown of Yosef was on the Aron of Yaakov, Natu Kulam Tasrain, they all took off their crowns, Aslam Barin Shal Yaakov, and they all hung it on the Aron of Yaakov. Tana, Shloisha V'Shishim Ksar. There were 36 Kesarim, Nitl Barein Yaakov, that were on the Aron of Yaakov at the time of his death by his Levaya. So Gemara, it says right in the pasuk, by Yisbu Sham Misbah Gadol, they had a big hesped, the Chavod Ma'oin, a lot of honor. So Gemara, Afilu Susam, Afilu Chamarim, even the Susam and the Chamarim were Noyeg Avelis. Came Shegiu, Lamar Samachpela, once they reached all the Malavim of Levaya reached the Aron of Yaakov Vino to Mar Samachpela. Asa Esav came, Kama Akav, he was trying to hold back the kvura. Amar lahen. So the Esav told Bnei Yaakov. It says Bereshis Parak Lam Hey Pasuk Zayin. Mamre Kiras Arba Hi Chevron. Amar Rabbi Yitzchak says Kiras Arba. Why was it called Kiras Arba? Because of the Arba Zuga is Hayu Adam Chava Avram Sar Yitzchak Rivka Yaakov Aleah. So Esav's taina was, he said Iu Karva Leah Day. They're ready. 3 of the Zugas were already buried. Amram Sar, Yitzchak, Adam Chava, Amram Sar, and Yitzchak and Rivka. So Esav's taina was, Iu Karva Leah Day. There were two plots left over. So he said, I should get one. Esau was saying, I should get one, and Yaakov gets one. But Yaakov, he was saying, already used his because he buried Leah there. Behind the Poish Didi, the one that's left over, the Didi was mine. Amru Leah, so Ben Yaakov told Esau, Zabinta, you sold him your plot when you sold the Bechor to him. So Amru Esau told him, he Zabini Becherusa, Zol Zayin, I sold him my Bechor, Shidusimi Zabini, my regular chilik I still want to get. It's just my Pishnayim that I sold to him. Amrulay ben Yaakov told him in. No, even the chilik Pashut he sold to him, Dechsiv, because it says Bereshis Parak Nun Pasuk Hey, Bekivri Asher Karisli, Be'aretz Kanan, Shamatek Bereini. Amar Rabbi Yochanan Mishum Yitzadik, Rabbi Yochanan Yitzadik said, Ein Kira. They said it says the lashon Kira Sher Karisi is El Shem Mechira. It's lashon Mechira. It's Kemikrache Ayam in the cities that are Meir El Yam. Karel Mechira Kira. Amar Lahu. So Asaph told the Bnei Yaakov, Havli Yigarta, bring me a star Mechira, prove that I sold my plot to Yaakov. Amar Lev, and Yaakov told him, Yigarta, Ba'ad Mitzrayim, it's in Eretz Mitzrayim. Uman Nezel, who's going to go get it? Nezel Naftali, the Kalo Ki Ayalta. You want to send Naftali, which he could run real quick. Tichsiv, it says in the Bracha, and Bereshis Parak Matash Pasuk Chafalas, and Naftali Ayal Shlucha, Hanoisin Im Reshefer, Amar Ravo, Al Tikri Im Reshefer, Al Im Resefer. Don't, and Ravo Dashin, don't say Im Reshefer. Read it in the Sefer that he came to bring the Sefer of Maknim, Sachpela. So Zaktin Amara, while this was going on, Chushim Brei Dan, Chushim, the son of Dan, Taman Hava, he was by this Levaya, he saw all this whole story going on. Yakiran Leudne, and he was hard of hearing. He was a shtickle deaf. Couldn't really hear exactly the mice that was going on, but he saw there was a whole Shakavatari between Esav and Bnei Yaakov. So Amar Lahu, he told Bnei Yaakov, my hi, what's going on? He wanted to bury Yaakov. Amar Lahu and Bnei Yaakov told him, come Yaakov, hi, Esav holding about the Kura. Ad Asin Naftali Ma'ar Mitzrayim. Until Naftali comes back from Mitzrayim with a star that shows that there was that Yaakov, he sold the Maras Achpela to Yaakov. Amar Lahu, Chushim said, Ad Asi, Naftali Ma'ar Mitzrayim, you have Avi Abba Mutal Bazayin, until he comes back from Mitzrayim, my grandfather should be Mutal Bazayin without Kfur. Shakal Kolfa, he took a stick, Machi Aresha, he hit Esav on the head and he killed him. Nasrin Einai V'naflu Akar Yaakov, his eyes, Esav's eyes fell out, they fell on the legs of Yaakov. Paschinu Yaakov Le'einei Ba'achich, Yaakov opened his eyes and he smiled behind the chsiv, and this is what it says similarly in the pasuk at the Tehillim Park in the Ches pasuk Yidal, Yismach Tzaddik ki chazanakim pa'amav yirchatz b'dam harasha. So Yismach Tzaddik is going on Yaakov, the Tzaddik that he saw in the Kama be'esav chazanakim pa'amav yirchatz raglav yirchatz b'dam harasha, because the eyes of Esav fell out his legs. But Isha Neskaim Nevuah Shal Rivka, at that time the Nevuah of Rivka was Neskaim. They said it says in Bereshis Perach Chavzayim Pasuk Mem Hey that Rivka told Yaakov, Loma Eshkal Gam Shnechem Yom Echad, why should I lose both of you one day? And at that time, it says over there in Pashas told us, I believe it is, she asked Yaakov to run away from Esav. The Afal Gav Zaktimar the Misasan Lebi Yom Echad Havi, the death of Yaakov and Esav were not on one day. However, Zak the Gemara, Kfurasan Yom Echad Havi, her the Nevuah is the sky in a way that Lamaisa their Kfur did take place on the same day. Zak the Gemara with the Asapik Yosef Echad Leham Askebe, and what's pshat if Yosef wasn't Isaac and Kfur, his father, his brothers weren't going to do it, but Ksiva Yusuf is a Banam Arzakadan. Lamaisa, it says that all the brothers were Nasasik in the Siyas Hamita. So the Chur, the Urk for Oil of Kura, they weren't parked the Oil of Kura. So why did they just let Yosef do Yosef and Kfur? It's like Gemara, Amru, the brother said, Hani Chuloi, let Yosef do the Ikar Kfur because Kvoidim Amalachim Yosef made Yosef. The covenant for their father Yaakov that his Kfur should be done with a Melech, which was Yosef, a king, rather than had Yosef. And Yosef was a Melech. Zakti Gemara, the Mishnah says, Mila and Gadol Yosef, that Moshe was a Satskin. Zakti Gemara, Tanar Rabban and Beri Kama Chavis Mitzvah Moshe Rabbeinu. How beloved Mitzvah Moshe Rabbeinu. It's Kol Yisrael Kul Nasasko Abiza. All the Yidden Nasasko Abiza, like it says in Bereshit Parak Beis Pasuk Lam Vav, and Nasos Mitzrayim. But who Nasasko Mitzvah? Moshe was Nasasko Mitzvah, who's Isaac in the mitzvahs of bring up Yosef bones from Mitzrayim. Shenemar Chacham Leiv Yikach Mitzvahs. Like it says in Mishlei Parak Ches Pasuk Ches, Chacham Leiv takes mitzvahs. How do you know where Yosef was buried? When he's coming from Mitzrayim to take his bones, how do you know where they were? Obviously, they were in temporary burial spot. Amru Zakimara Chacham say Serach Bas Asher Nestayim said there. Serach Bas Asher, she was the daughter of Asher. She was left over from that door. Yodim Mitzrayim. Halach Moshe Atzlo. Moshe went there. Amalai told her Klum Atidas Hechen Yosef cover. Do you know where Yosef is buried? Amalai is Serach Time. Aron Shamat Ches Aslam Mitzrayim. They made him a metal aron. Kva'u b'nilas anar. They put it in the nilas anar. They thought that the nilas would be eventually to him. They just stuck it in there. So Halach Moshe went there. Amal al Sfas nilas. He went on the edge of the nilas. Amar Loi told Yosef, Yosef, Yegia Ace, the time has come. Shanishma Kadosh Baruch Hu Shani Goy Leschem Hashem swore that he's going to redeem us. And the time came that we promised you would bring your bones up from Mitzrayim. We're clean from the shore, because there's nothing we could do about it. It started floating out, and Moshe took it. Don't ask like the Gemara. The Barzel's heavy, so it should sink. How does it float? It says in Malachim Beis Perek Vav, Pasuk Hey, by Talmidei Elisha, that they cut eitzim for the base medrash. V'hiya echad mapal ha'kaira, v'sa barzel nafal ha'mayim. It says over there the barzel fell in the water. V'yitzak v'yomer ahal adoni v'ushal, and it says that Elisha screamed at the guards and shawls. That's like, and he doesn't have what to pay. V'yomer shel came on a nafal. V'yiris hamakim showed him a place. V'yiksev eitz v'yachar shama. There was a nace that he cut a piece of wood. He threw it in, and the barzel came up. Started floating. So it's like Gemara, it's Kavachomer. Ma Elisha, that was Talmidei Shel Eliyahu, and Eliyahu is Talmid of Moshe. So for them, it's tough barzel mapanov. He was able to float metal. So when Moshe Rabbeinu lachas kamim kamo, it's understood that the metal could float. Not a chiddush. It's like Gemara Nasan Aimer that the urn of Yosef was not on the Nilas, rather it was Bakar Banit. Shamalachim Hayakar. It was in the area. It seems like there was a specific area where they buried Malachim. So it was in that area. However, they did not know exactly which urn it still was. So Halach Moshe Amar Al Karmen et Malachim. When he stood there, Amar Yosef Igia Eish Shenish Makadosh Baruch Shani Koyel Eschem V'Igia Shvur Sheshbatis Yisrael Samata Maras Chaf you show yourself good V'Mlaver and Menukim Shavuoscha. Same thing. Well, Yosef showed us Daz Aaron. So Yosef started shaking, and that's how Moshe knew which urn it was. Nitla Moshe, Nitali Moshe. He took it. V'Avias later bought it. Chalais Nishanam Shal Yisrael and Mirzak tomorrow. All those 40 years that the Yidden were in Midbar, they had 2 Aronis with them. Echad Shal Meis. One was the bones of Yosef. Echad Shal Shechina. One was the Arna Edus. Lahachan Zemzeh. But even people, passerbys would say to the Yidden, Matim Shnei Aronis. Why do you have these 2? Amru. They would tell them. The Yidden would tell them Echad Shal Meis. One's a dead person. One's a Shechina. So you ask Chimai Dak Shal Meis Lahachan Shechina. Why would you have a dead person dead as a Shechina? Amru. They would say. The Yidden would tell them. Yosef HaTzadik was Talmid in the Aron. He was Mekayim everything it said in the second Aron, which was the Luchos, which was in the second Aron. Zakti Gemara, the Mishnah said, Milan Agodim Yosef L'Nesask B'Elam Moshe. Fret Gemara, V'li Asik B'Moshe. Moshe would not have been Isaac in Yosef. Yisrael Le'av Ma'askebe. Would the Yidden not have been Isaac in him? The Chayav Aksiv, it says in Yeshua Perek V'Dal Apostle Lam Beis, after the Petir of Moshe, Es Atzim Yosef Shalom B'nai Yisrael Mitzrayim covered B'Shchem. It says they buried them in Shechem. So you see, even the B'nai Yisrael were Choshim Mekayim Shvuah, and they were Isaac in the Kfura. So how come until they went into Eretz Yisrael did they let Moshe just himself do it himself? So like more of a Su, Eloi Askebe Yisrael, but only Askebe. If the Yidden would not have been Isaac in the Kfura of Yosef, would Yosef's kids not been Isaac in the Kfura? V'aksive Hilim B'nei Yosef Nachla. It's mashma they buried Yosef in their Nachla. Mashma they liked Yosef, so why would they not? The Yosef can go forward, cover themselves. Zat Gemara, Amru Hanichu Loi Kvoidim Merum Yosef Matim. Because of Yosef is, it's more of a cover. The Ram Yosef is for more than a few people. The Su and the other Kasha. Okay, answer Zat Gemara, Amru Hanichu Loi Kvoidim Gedolim Yosef Tanim. The reason why I let Moshe do it is because it's because of Yosef more to have a gadol bury him. You got Moshe Rabbeinu and not Katanim Klal Yisrael. Like the Gemara says in the passing in Yeshua Perek of Dal Lamed Beis, this Asvi Yosef covered with Shechem. For the Gemara, Maishna b'Shechem, why Dafka in Shechem? Amrim Chanina, Shechem Genavu. They stole him from Shechem because they sold him to Yishmaelim in Shechem, like it says in Bereshis Perek Lamed Zayin, Pasuk Yadalid, when Yaakov sent Yosef to his brothers, Yivayu Shechem, so he was in Shechem. Shechem Nachzer B'Dasei. Therefore, they returned him to Shechem at the time of his death. Fretting Gemara is a steerim sukkam. Kasher Kara Yadadi. Says Ksiv in Shmois Perek Gimel Pasuk Yites. Vayigach Moshe Atzmi Yosef Yimai. So Mashma Moshe brought up the Atzmi Yosef. Ksiv it says in Yeshua Perek of Dal Apostle Lamed Beis. Ves Atzmi Yosef Ashahal Bnei Yisrael. Mashma Bnei Yisrael brought it from Mitzrayim. So Gemara Mechar B'Chanina Kalois Tadavar Le Gemara Ba'achem Gemara Malay Lokas V'Ashagam Kilo Asai. Someone that starts a mitzvah doesn't finish it, and then another person comes and finishes a mitzvah. So the the Torah considers the one that finishes it, kilu he did the whole thing. So therefore, since Bnei Yisrael they were goymer in the mitzvah, so it's ma'ila le'ma'kosav kilu they also started the mitzvah of bringing them up from Mitzrayim. Lazar says, not only is the mitzvah not nikras al shem the mascha, but af meridin isim g'lasai. You also take him out from Gedul, the Chesiv, because it says after Bechiras Yosef, Yehiva Yisahiv, Yer Yehuda Meisechav. It's mashma that you see that Yehuda that was maschel in the Hatzalas Yosef, but however, because he said in Bereshis Perek Lamazai Pasuk Chavav, Yem Yehuda Alecha Ba'Betza Kenarag Zachinu. However, Lamaisa he did not finish the Hatzalah. He didn't do the job. And it says Vayer Yehuda Meisechav. So you see you married him from Gedula. Zot Gemara B'Shmuel Nachmeni Amar Shmuel says Af Kovesh Tebanav. Someone starts a mitzvah and doesn't finish it. It's Kovesh Tebanav. The Chesiv, because it says about Thomas Bashua Eish Yehuda. It says in Bereshis Lam the Ches Pasuk Yudbeis Bashua Eish Yehuda died. So you see Yehuda buried his wife Uchsiv Ayamas Erbain, and you see that he buried his two children also. So you see that's where you see learning out from, because Yehuda wasn't going to remember mitzvah. Why is Yosef called Atzamis Bechayev? Like he said, Alisim es Atzmoisa Mizeh. So Pashas Nashver, right? Why is he called Atzamis? He's telling them, he's instructing them after his death to bring up his bones. So I saw they explained that the Gemara's kasha really is. The Eitz Yosef explains that the Gemara's kasha really is that. Why did he say Balisim Sasmoisa? He could have said Lamaisa. It seems like they were choynit Yosef in the Mitzrayim, and that was the derech. So he could have said he was left over with his basar also. Why did he say just Atzmoisai? Says Dr. Gemara Nishla Micha b'chvoid Aviv. So it was nenash because he was not meicha on the honor of his father. Why? Because when his brothers told him, Avdacha Avinu Aleinu, and he called his father. The brothers called their father Avdacha Avinu. They said, "Our father's the Eved." And Yosef knew obviously who the brothers were at the time. The brothers did not know who he was, and they called his father his Eved, and he was not meicha for the cover of his father. Why did he die before his brothers? Like it says in Shmois Perek Aleph Pasuk Vav, Yamas Yosef v'chol echa v'chol adarahu. It's Mashiach died before his brothers. Zok Gemara Mnei Shehinig Atz Merabanos. So we don't understand this. Yosef was obviously tzaddik, but that's what Gemara says, that he was hitting Atz Merabanos. Zok Gemara, it says in Bereshis Perek Lam Tes Pasuk Aleph, Yosef Hurad Mitzrayim. Amar Belazar Al Tikri Hurad Elo Hayrid. That he was Shahoyrid Stagnine Parim Delosan. He took off the ones that gaze in the stars, of the ones that look at the stars for Pari's people. He took them off at a Gedula. Why? When they were placed to the Chalam of Parai, when he was placed to the Chalam of Parai, and they did not know how to interpret Pari's dream. So it says. So the Gemara, it says in the Henshech of the Pasuk, "Hineu Potifar Sis Pari." Amar Rav Sheknoi la'atzmai. He bought Potifar for himself for Avera. Potifar bought for himself for Avera Machmas Yofi. However, what happened? Bogavriol Peiroi Meikara. Gavriel came and cut off his male organ. Meikara, Ksiv Potifar, Saif Potifara. In the beginning it says Potifar. At the end, when Pari gave him the daughter of Potifar, it says Potifara, because his male organ was cut off. Zakti Gemara, Mila Nagadol and Moshe Shanisasik Boy Allah Amakut. The Gemara is going to explain many psukim here in the death of Moshe. So when Hashem wasn't listening to Moshe, when Moshe wanted to go to Tzrol, so it says in Dvarim Perek Gimel Pasuk Chavav, "Vayomer Hashem Elai Rav Loch Al Tosef Daber Elai Oid Badavar Azeh." So Amar Rav Levi, that the reason why Hashem said Rav Loch Because just like Barav Biser, so too Moshe Rabbeinu was punished Barav Bisru. So it's Gemara, Barav Biser, where was that? By the Bnei Levi, Machlekas HaKoirach. So Moshe told him, Rav Lachem Bnei Levi. Remember the Parak Tas Zayin, Pasuk Zayin. So therefore Hashem told Moshe also, Barav Bisru, Hashem told him, Rav Lach, Davrach, another pshat. Rav Lach is not also Einish, no, Rav Yeshlach. Umanu, he was saying there's another Rav that there came time to rule. Umanu, who's this person, Yeshua, and Ein Malchus Neges B'Chaverta, Yafilakum Loi Nima. So therefore, that's why he didn't go into Eretz Yisrael. Davar Acha, Rav Lach means that HaKadosh Baruch Hu was just telling Moshe Rabbeinu not to ask anymore Shlei Yomru HaRav Kama Kosher, that people should not say how shver the Rav is and not masking to the Bagosha's Talmud, the Talmud Kamasarvan, and how stubborn the Talmud is that he doesn't stop asking. So and why was Hashem talking not masking for Moshe Rabbeinu to go into Eretz Yisrael? Zakti Gemara, why was a cheta named Riva so chomer? Zakti Gemara, Tana B'Yishmael, Fum Gam L'Shechna. Lefi the koyach of the camel to carry the loads, so too that's how much you load on top of the camel. So too Zakti Gemara, as much as Tzidkes that Moshe had, so HaKadosh Baruch Hu was so medaktik on him, even Kuchat Asayra on this chait. Zakti Gemara, it says in the day of P'tir Moshe, in Devarim Parak Lamed Aleph Pasuk Beis, Vayim Aleim b'Me'ev Esem Shana Noichei Hayim, 120 years old, She'ein Talmud Leim HaYoyim. So why does it say Hayoim? He's saying Hayoim Malu Yomai Yishnoisai. V'Lamedcha Shekadosh Baruch Hu Mashim Shem Tzadikim Yom Yom B'Chodesh Chodesh. That the same day the tzaddikim are born on the same day they die. The chesiv it says it's Shmois Parachav Gimel Pasuk Chavav as Mispar Yamecha Amale. I will fill all your days miyam liyayim. Zakti Gemara. It says Moshe Rabbeinu told Yidden Liyuchal Oid Lotz V'Lavei. Zakti Gemara, my Lotz V'Lavei. What does it mean that he couldn't go and come? Elim Lotz V'Lavei Mamish means that he physically couldn't go because he was getting older and getting weak. You can't say like that. But Ksiv Zakti Gemara Dvarim La Parak Lamed Al Pasuk Zayin. It says Moshe B'Mei V'Esem Shana B'Moisai Loinas Leichai. It's mashma he didn't have anything. Nothing would change on him. He was full strength. Ksiv, and it says also Dvarim Parak Lamed Al Pasuk Aleph. V'Yal Moshe Ma'arvis Moev Al Har Navai. Tanya Shnei Misrei Milas 12 steps, and some Moshe B'Siachas, he took them all in one step. He was going full swing. So Mashma, he had a lot of strength. I remember Shmuel Nachmina, Yoni's son, lots of love of Divrei Torah. He cannot go, he couldn't handle Divrei Torah, Malamin, Shenistatim Mimenu Shari Chacham. He didn't have Shari Chacham anymore, and that's what he was saying on the day of his death, on the day that he was ready to die. So like the Gemara, it says in Devarim Parak Lamed Aleph Pasuk Yudal, V'yelech Moshe V'Yishua Yisyatza Bo Yalmoi, Tana Oisha Shabbos. That Shabbos, Moshe was nifter, shal diyoi zuge. There were two peers, hoisa. There were two manhigim, in other words, meaning to say. In the beginning of Shabbos, Moshe was manning. By the time he came to the end of the Shabbos, Yeshua was nitul l'shus mizeh, v'nitul l'zeh. He was taken from Moshe and given to Yeshua. Tanya Rabbi Yehuda says, L'mali mikra kasev, yef shalayim. If it wasn't in the first passage, he couldn't say it. Heicha Moshe, meiz where did Moshe die? B'chel keshel ru'uvein. In the Chelik of Reuven, the Chesiv, it says a pasuk in Devarim Parak Lamed Al Pasuk Aleph, Vayal Moshe Ma'arvis Moev Al Har Navai. Navai wasn't the Chelik of Reuven Kaima. The Chesiv, it says Devarim Parak Lamed Beis, V'nei Reuven B'nei Banu, and it says Ves Navai. And that's where the three Nevi'im died. Moshe, Aaron, and Miriam. Heicha Moshe cover. Where's Moshe buried? B'Chelka Shagad, in the Chelik of God. The Chesiv, it says Devarim Parak Lamed Al Pasuk Aleph, Vayar Rishus Lai. K'shav Chelkas B'Chai Kesafim. That God was Boicher, he chose his chelik Evar Yarden, because over there would be the chelik of the kever of Moshe, which was called Machaykik. The chelka Shuruven, chelka Shagad, Zok Tomorrow Kama Havi. How far was our Baal Milan? It was 4 milan, which was one parasa. Oisan Baal Milan Mihalichai, who brought him from Ruvain to God. His chelik. How'd that happen? Like the Gemara, Chari the Yidden didn't bury him. Al Malamed Shahim Moshe Mutu B'Chav Ishchina. That Hashem himself came and took him from Har Navai to the chelik of God. Malachi Ashar said to Master Moshe, they said in Devarim Parak Lamed Gimel Pasuk Chaval, Tzidkas Hashem Asum B'Shpatav Yisrael, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Aimer, on Moshe till in Parak Tzad Dal Pasuk Tazayim Yakum Limreim Yisatz Lim Bali Oven. That Moshe was mechiach bad people to return to Hashem. Ushmul Amar that Hashem said in Kelos Parachas Pasuk Alf Mika Chacham Yidei Pesha Adavar. that Moshe knew how to make psharas between the Kadosh Baruch Hu and Klal Yisrael. Rabbi Yochanan says pasuk that Hashem said it has been on Moshe. Iyav Perich of Ches pasuk Yibez Hachacham Me'ayin Timatzer. Rabbi Nachman said pasuk in Dvarim Perich Lamed Dal pasuk Yeva Yom Shem Moshe Samayin Amar Yom Shem Moshe Eved Hashem Samayin Amar Yom Shem Moshe Safra Rabba Di Yisrael, the big Sefer Yisrael, because he considers calling him a Sefer because he's Mekabel Torah, gave him a Torah. Zakti Gemara, Tanya Belezah Gadol Omer, Shnei Mil Keneged Machan Yisrael. It was 12 by 12 mil, Machan Yisrael. Baskel Mashmi V'Omer, Baskel came out and said, Yemas Moshe Safra Rabba Di Yisrael. Some say that Moshe didn't die at all. And Darash from Gezer Shava of Sham. Ksiv Hachat says by Moshe by Yom Sham. It says by Kabbalah Torah Shmois Perek Lamadal Pasuk Ches Vahi Sham Im Hashem. Mala Halam by Kabbalah Torah Im Shamish. Moshe was Im Shamish L'Mei Malkum. Afkan by his Misa he was Im Shamish L'Mei Malkum. So this is the shita that says that Moshe never died. Zakti Gemara, it says in Dvarim Perek Lamadal Pasuk Vav Yigwa Yisa Bagai. He was buried in the Gai Eretz Moav. Molbeis Ba'ar Amar Brachia. The Torah gives a place for his kfura, Simon by Seich Simon. There's a lot of simonim. The Gai Eretz Moav Molbeis Ba'ar. Afilu Hachi still Zakti Gemara. The pasuk finishes and says La Yodai Kfura. So nobody knows where Moshe Rabbeinu is buried. So Zakti Gemara, how hidden is it? And nobody knows. It's a mystery. The Malchus Rasha of Roy sent Eitzel Gastara, the ruler of Beis Ba'ar. He told him, Harinu Moshe cover, show me Moshe is buried. And he sent his people to look. Amdu Lamayla, they stood on top. Nidl Lahem Lamata, it seemed to them the kever was Lamata. Lamata, when it stood on the bottom, was Nidl Lahem Lamayla, the kever was on top. So what they did was Nachlu Shtei Kitas, they decided we'll split up the two groups. One group go on top and one group go on bottom. So what happened then was that Oisim turned Lamayla, it was Nidlahem, that was Lamata. And Lamata was Nidlahem, that it was Lamala. L'kayim Hashanab, kind of the pasuk that stated in Dvarim Perek Lamadal pasuk Vav LaYoda Ish Kfurasei Ada Yemezeh. And nobody knows, it's a mystery where the burial place is of Moshe Rabbeinu. Rabbi Chomer B'Chanina, Amar Rabbi Chanina, it says, Af Moshe Rabbeinu Yedei Heichen Cover. Even Moshe Rabbeinu does not know. Also, Moshe Rabbeinu does not know where he's buried. In Dashnik Zer Shava, it says, Ksiv Hacha, V'Liyadesh K'Srosei, Ksiv Hasam, Dvarim Lamigil Pazagal, V'Zei Sabracha Sheberach Moshe Ish Elikim. So you see Moshe was called the Ish, and on him it was said, V'Liyadesh K'Srosei. Amar Rabbi Chomer B'Chanina, when the Manik of Moshe Eitzel Beis Ba'ar, why was Moshe Rabbeinu buried near Beis Ba'ar? K'til Chaper on Ma'asapar, to Mechaper on the, and why, the question is, why is in this guy Shema V'Yizar on Moshe Rabbeinu's kever? It's a Ganai, it's degrading, it's a Mashabavar. And so like the Gemara is come to Mechaper on the Ma'asapar.